In recent years, the curators of ASTRA Museum from Sibiu have carried out an extensive campaign to identify local craftsmen from some Romanian historical regions. There has been created a database that serves everyone involved in the identification, transfer, and reconstruction of a new monument in the open-air museum. Depending on their specialization, whether they are blacksmiths, carpenters, etc., the craftsmen are contacted to offer their support, paid, in the reconstruction of the old monuments. It is an activity that brings benefits to both parties. The ASTRA Museum benefits from the knowledge and experience of the craftsmen, and they work in a favorable environment, the financial aspect not being neglected either, as they are materially rewarded. Many times, the reconstruction of monuments in the open-air museum of Dumbrava Sibiu turns into interactive workshops. Visitors have the opportunity to see how the monuments are reconstructed. Also, visitors and craftsmen can interact, creating future connections that implicitly lead to the completion of contracts between these parties. In our presentation, we will refer both to the Romanian craftsmen who still practice old trades, disappeared in some parts of Europe, but also to their valuable contribution to the reconstruction of the monuments in the ASTRA Museum from Sibiu. The ASTRA Multicultural Project promotes craftsmen with indisputable practical and theoretical skills. Certainly, the craftsmen and traditional crafts specific to each area constitute directions for the development of a sustainable cultural tourism, so necessary to be implemented in the next period. The focus was on experiences, increasingly necessary in educational and cultural activities. Experience has become an indispensable value of the consumption of cultural products, as people lead much more intense lives and want to participate in activities in a more personal way. ASTRA Animate. The main objectives of the animation program, Anima Astra, consist in the presentation and promotion of the traditional landscape of the old village, as well as in the promotion and support of traditional culture by exemplifying the life of the peasant in the Romanian village and by organizing craft workshops open to the general public. So far, both the aspects of the daily life of the inhabitants of the Romanian village have been followed, but also the historical, exceptional moments, without which Romania, as we know it, would not have existed. All museum visitors, from children to parents and grandparents, are invited to take part both in experiencing the daily activities of the everyday life of people in the country and in the organized craft workshops, having the opportunity to go home with the finished object. The aim of this program is for visitors to complete their visits to the museum by increasing the cultural offer at an experimental level, by actively involving the public in the life of the traditional village. The organization of the workshops, in addition to the practical development of the skill of a craft, of learning the techniques to make an object and the use of tools for its manufacture, also has an educational component that has the role of developing the ability to understand traditional culture and its development. Sibiu County is rich in archaeological discoveries and old buildings that deserve to be preserved for posterity. At every step, you can discover fortified churches, extraordinary parish houses, old Romanian, Saxon, and Hungarian villages. This extraordinary diversity is rarely found even throughout Europe, not only in Romania. The tangible and intangible heritage of this area is diverse and, for now, insufficiently exploited. There are areas of almost wild beauty whose cultural potential is immense. Significant personalities of our times, such as King Charles III, support the preservation of this space under the slogan, "By respecting the past, we can build the future." For several years, there have been increasingly significant funds for the restoration of historical monuments of all kinds. The main problem for several years is no longer the lack of money, but the lack of specialized people, craftsmen, who still possess the necessary knowledge to carry out works that correspond to the age of the objects. The mission of the ASTRA Museum is to further identify craftsmen willing to pass on their craft to the younger generation. The museum's specialists are also in demand by those who are on the path of learning a craft.